Cafe 424 Heavy.
Cafe 424, hold on ground radio check.
Can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, radio check. We're here in Hong Kong. Gonna do our briefing here in a sec, and we'll get our clearance on our way.
Ground below Cafe 466 with 049 with TDC, request push and start.
Cafe 466, got more Charlie, starts up with the pushback color.
Alright, let's get our APU on. Fuel pumps.
Hong Kong ground, the tower 125, we're ready for push and start.
Alright, so
Tower 125.
today will be a right seat departure. Taking off is Giant 8522. We're at stands X-ray 18 pushback. Expect pushback color red, which is tail west onto Lima. Plan to taxi to runway 25 left via Lima, left turn Lima 3.
Facing south, Italo 125.
Let's get the rest of the stands on here.
Ground below Cafe 466, request push and start.
Yeah, Lima 3 kilo, holding point kilo 7, holding short of 25 left. Planning a flaps 10 or flaps 5 takeoff.
South Cafe 466.
Got derated TO2 47 degrees. And a nice long runway available for takeoff. What do we got?
Ground, Cafe 520, stand 023, ready for push.
12,467 feet available on departure. Any abnormals prior to V1 reject for engine failure. Engine fire warning, predictive wind shear. Or if the airplane is just not going to fly V1 and above or committed to flight, I'll fly the airplane. We'll take it airborne, treat it as an in-flight emergency. I'll handle the aircraft as well as ATC and the checklist, single engine out procedure. Straight out, take it out over the water, and we'll fly the SID. Planning on doing the DALOL 1 Bravo departure off 25 left, which is straight out heading 254 to HH411, HH412 between 205 and 230. VATSIM HH413, HH414, or correction, this is the speed till VATSIM. VATSIM at 230 knots between 4,000 and 9,000, HH471 at or above 9,000, HH472 at or below 12,000, SUD at or above 14, Lugmo DALOL. Initial altitude is going to be 5,286 feet per nautical mile to 1,600, shouldn't be a problem. Minimum safe altitude if we need it, 4,300. Highest obstacles east of the airport, should be no factor. And terminal transition route. Take a look at this. So DALOL, except skate, then NOMAN, and according to the release, Victor 461 AVMUP Whiskey 16s to Clark TR24 KIBOK. And according to our route, we do have all of that in there. DALOL 1 Bravo departure, DALOL Victor 642 NOMAN Alpha 461 to AVMUP Whiskey 16 to Clark. That's all there. And we'll do the arrival later. That's it. That's all I got. Let's get everything closed up. Get our clearance. APU is running according to the ECAM. Alright, let's connect the bus. It's already connected. Alright, let's close all doors. vehicles, make sure everything is released. Release, 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 release. Okay, return. Ground. Air conditioning unit and release the ground power. And we can release the chocks because we do have a brake set. Alright, let's run the pre-flight checklist. Oxygen tested 100%, flight instruments checked, heading 164, 164, and 164 on our standby, and altimeter is QNH is 998, and we got 40 set on all sides.
Cafe 424, we
Parking brake set, fuel control switch is cut off, and pre-flight checklist complete.
Juliet 10 holding port, runway 25 left.
We're going Juliet and then hold
Alright, let's look outside to make sure we got everything clear. We do, and let's get our clearance. Updated ATIS is Victor. Let's make sure that we call the right person. So,
466 request taxi.
alright, ground is online. Perfect.
Cafe 466, taxi left onto hotel.
So Victor, departures 25 left, winds 220 at 11, visibility 10 kilometers, heat clouds 1,500, and temperature 33.27, QNH 90908, Victor.
Test 424, contact Hong Kong Tower on 1184, bye bye.
Request 1184, see you later. Thank you, bye bye.
And Hong Kong Giant 8522, stand X-ray 18, ATIS Victor, IFR 2, Romeo Papa, Lima Bravo.
Giant 8522, Hong Kong ground, hello, clear to destination, flight time route, car via DALOL 1 Bravo, departure to 5,000 feet, dot 3302, information Victor.
Okay, Giant 8522, we have ATIS Victor, cleared to destination, DALOL 1 Bravo, departure off 25 left, initial altitude 5,000 feet, squawk 3302.
Giant 8522, confirm squawk 3303.
Squawk 3303, Giant 8522.
Giant 8522, repeat, correct.
Okay, is 3303.
Cafe 466, contact Hong Kong Tower on 1184, bye bye.
Contact Tower 1184, Cafe 4.
Alright, we do have DALOL 1 Bravo in there, so we got that all squared away. All the fixes match.
Cafe 5 Lima Whiskey ready for taxi.
Actually,
Cafe 5 Lima Whiskey taxi by Hotel 9, Hotel 7, Hotel 8 to Juliet 11 holding port, runway 25 left.
Hotel 9 or Hotel 7, Hotel 8, Juliet 11 holding port, runway 25 left. Cafe 5 Lima Whiskey.
okay, that's all done there. Perfect. Okay, before start checklist. Let's call pushback. Request pushback. Okay, supernumerary signs or numerary signs on MCP is set V2 158, heading 254, altitude 5,000 feet. Now that we got our clearance, takeoff speeds V1 158, VR 158, V2 152. CD pre-flight completed. Trim. Let's go ahead and set that. Alright, let's get pressurized here.
Cafe 5 Lima Whiskey, contact Hong Kong Tower 1184, bye bye.
118.4,
Okay,
Cafe
5.0. Okay, 5.0 units is set. Taxi takeoff briefing completed. Beacon is on before start. Checklist complete.
125, heavy ready to taxi.
Tower 125, Hong Kong ground taxi via Hotel 7, Juliet 9, left Juliet to Juliet 1 holding port, runway 25.
All doors are armed now.
Taxi via Hotel 7, Juliet 9, holding port Juliet 01, taxi runway 25 left, Peter 15 heavy.
or expect pushback color red. Hong Kong Giant 8522 ATIS Victor, stand X-ray 18, fully ready.
Giant 8522, start up is a pushback color red and squawk mode Charlie.
Squawk mode Charlie, pushback color red, Giant 8522. Brakes release, clear to push, color red. Squawk mode Charlie. Alright, let's start up, start 1, or correction 2. Here goes 1.
Tower 125, contact Hong Kong Tower on 1184, bye bye.
Going to Hong Kong Tower 118.4, Eater 125, thank you.
Pushback complete, set parking brake is set.
Hong Kong ground, Philippine 258, good afternoon.
Also, our minimum takeoff fuel is
Echo 19. Requesting clearance to Manila, flight level 330.
minimum takeoff is 27. We got 27.6.
258 Hong Kong ground, hello, clear to Manila. Climb via DALOL 1 Bravo departure to 5,000.
Look on the right, got 3 guys pinned in the bag. We're looking for
Victor 642 to waypoint NOMAN, standby 10 route. Got 3346 information Victor.
APU is off.
Philippine 258.
Standing by flaps 5.
Runway 1 Foxtrot report.
Control check.
642, squawk 3346,
Philippine 258 confirm DALOL 1 Bravo departure for runway 25 left. Initial
Okay,
time
before taxi checklist. NEIS is auto. Recall checked, auto brake RTO, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear before taxi checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist. Flaps 5 before takeoff checklist complete.
DALOL, check airway Victor 642 to air to waypoint NOMAN.
Copy 5,000 feet initial altitude, then airway Victor 614.
Terrain radar.
Philippine 258 repaired, correct.
Hong Kong ground, Giant 8522, ready to taxi ATIS Victor.
Giant 8522, taxi via Lima 3 kilo to kilo 7 holding point, runway 25 left.
Taxi via Lima 3 kilo, holding point kilo 7, runway 25 left, Giant 8522. Brakes release, taxi light on. Let's rock and roll. Straight ahead on Lima, left on Lima 3, then right turn kilo, and holding point kilo 7, 25 left. Ooh, we don't need a whole lot of power to get this thing rolling. Not too shabs. Maybe that Cathay that just landed. A350, that's cool. Alright, we're clear left, and clear right, coming left. Lima tree. Oh, why are we stopping? There we go. Alrighty. Lima tree, right turn on Kilo. We're clear left, and we are clear right. Right turn Kilo. Okay, clear right, coming right.
Giant 8522 contact Hong Kong Tower on 118, bye bye.
118.4, Giant 8522, bye bye. 118.4. Departures on 19.1.
Cathay 254, contact ground 121.6. Ground 121.6, have a good day, Cathay 254. You too.
Here's the ILS critical area.
Tower 125, contact departure 122.0.
DALOL 1, Bravo departure.
Going to 133.0, Tower 15.
Yeah, there it is.
Tower 125, negative 122.0, 220.
122.0, Tower 15.
Tower Giant 8522, holding point Kilo 7.
John 8522, Tower hello, runway 25 left, clear for takeoff, wind is 22 degrees 10 knots.
Clear for takeoff, 25 left, Giant 8522. Alrighty. Lights. Clear left and clear right, clear for takeoff. That's 25 left, I see it. Set thrust 89.1. Hey, 9.1 set, 89, cross-checked. Wrote it. Positive rate, gear up.
John 2522, Scorpio Charlie.
Giant 8522, squawking Montreal.
22, come to departure 122.0.
122.0, Giant 8522, good day.
Right.
Pops 1. AP's on, I gotta focus on 122.0. Pops up. Hong Kong departure, Giant 8522, 2400, climbing 5000, DALOL 1 Bravo.
Giant 8522, Hong Kong departure, hello, identified. Climb via SID to flight level 160.
Climb via SID, maintain flight level 160, Giant 8522. 160 is set. Climb check, or after takeoff checklist is complete.
Cathay 8015, Hong Kong approach, hello, information Juliet, runway 25 right.
This worked out nicely because our min cleanup is 230, and we have to maintain 230 until VEDMU. But we are still restricted to VIDMU below, at or below 9,000, which happens to be our transition altitude.
Cathay 50 Whiskey, over to ACT, monitor advisory 122.8, goodbye.
Unicom, Cathay 50 Whiskey, bye-bye.
Alright, we're at VNAV speed. For now, it's going to change to VNAV altitude as soon as we level off at 9,000, or flight level 900. Alright, 8 for 9.
Giant 8522, cancel 9,000 feet, number restriction.
Cancel 9,000 altitude restriction and speed restriction, Giant 8522. Okay, so that means we can continue our climb. They have an altitude, there it is. Back to VNAV. Alright, we're still good on VNAV speed. Either way, we just passed it, so it's no factor. I guess what I should have done was just click on the altitude intervention. Alright, transition out to 9,000. Standard set. 10K.
8015, would you direct with me? Descent BSR to 8,000 feet, Nation 998 hectopascals.
Say again, please.
Cathay 8015, would you direct to Ripley, descent BSR to 8,000 feet, Nation 998 hectopascals.
Direct to Ripley, descent 4,000, QNH 998, Cathay 8015, thank you.
Cathay 8015 negative, descent BSR to 8,000 feet.
Descent BSR 8,000, Cathay 8015. Direct to, confirm direct to Romeo India, Victor Mike India.
Affirm.
Thank you.
And Giant 8522, just want to confirm the flight level 120 restriction is also cancelled.
Giant 8522, affirm. Climb unrestricted, flight level 160.
Okay, unrestricted, flight level 160, giant 8522, thank you. I wasn't sure on that, so I wanted to clarify.
Tower 125, radar will be
Alright,
coming shortly.
VNAV speed,
Advisory 122, decimal 8.
altitude intervention.
122 decimal 8, Italo 125 AV.
Cafe 8015, descend VF Dorothy 670.
Descend Cafe 6, descend VF Cafe 015.
And giant 8522, no further ATC. Clear advisory 122, decimal 8. Goodbye.
122 decimal 8, giant 8522, goodbye. Alright, 22.8. There it is. They should have a way for us to input it in here. That would just make life easier. Just, okay, we're actually unrestricted. Okay, VNAV speed. Level 330 set, that's our cruise, right? Yeah, it is. Just got word that Senator Lindsey Graham just died at 71 years old due to a brief a brief and sudden illness. Interesting. That's crazy. Somebody's right in front of us. We are following them. They're going to Taipei, so they're going to break off here soon. Yeah. Okay, 180. Since that's the transition level that we use in the US. This one will turn the lights out for us. But KIBOK 1 Golf arrival. Yep. After Ligmo, then DALOL, then we're gonna we're gonna continue on the Victor 642, which is right here. Yeah, DALOL. VATSIM, I don't know how to say that, skate, then NOPER and NOMAN. That's a compulsory reporting point. And it says we need to be at our cruising altitude no later than 10 minutes from the TMA boundary. We will be up at that point, no problem. Alright, arrival. And we're doing what arrival? KIBOK 1 Golf. Is that this one? Yeah. Okay. KIBOK 1 Golf. Let's get that plugged in. Arrivals. KIBOK 1 Golf, there it is. Execute, and our plan was to do the Yankee, runway 7. There it is. And Richa transition, I believe. Yep. And let's go to map mode and figure out if that's all inputted correctly. And it is. Execute. Alright, so KIBOK. What does the KIBOK say? Transition level 130. KIBOK at or above 7, LB 787 at or above 6, LB 6 or 565 at or above 5,200. Richa initial approach fix at or above 5, max 210 knots, minimum safe 7,300 if we need it. Highest obstacle is southeast of the airport, 4604, but there is terrain all around the airport. Keep that in mind. So in the event of a radio communication failure, squawk 7600 and follow established procedures. Okay. KIBOK at 7, 787 at 6. 787 at 6, LB 565 at about 52, and then Richa 5000 at about 5, 210. And we're doing the Yankee, RMP Yankee runway 07. LNAV and VNAV only. Cool. Alright, Richa, same. Max 210 at above 5. June P 4000, LB 544, 2400. 4000, LB 544, 2400. And then 3.2 degree glide path, LB 549. Which is probably the missed approach point, which it looks like it is. 3.2 on the descent angle, perfect. Missed approach is left, so at LB49, turn left direct to LB40, 546, LB547, LB548 to Richa and hold at 5,000 or as instructed by air traffic control, max 185 until LB546. Don't turn before passing LB549. Refer to the missed approach climb gradient. We're doing this because we can pull it off the climb gradient, which is 304 per nautical mile for the climb throughout the mist. Will be no problem with that. But okay, 549, 546, 547, 548. 546, 547, 548. There's no speed here, so we'll make a mental note 185 on the mist till 547, Richa at 210, 5,000. And what's the hold there? 135 inbound course, right turns, protected up to 10,000, and minimum is 5,000, max 230. So 135 right turns for the hold. 135 right turns, 1 minute legs, perfect. Approach, plan flaps 30, landing 146. And how much runway we got coming in? Right here. Subic Bay, Philippines. Obstruction lights in unpopulated areas may be missing closed aircraft without functioning two-way radio. Okay. We're going to actually be parking over here by this southeast apron. Land on 7. 9,006 feet of runway available for landing, actually. So we'll reduce the thousands. Call it 8,000 feet with the 1,000 foot markers. 2 and 3. The Pappies. The Pappies are, they got a little higher angle, is 4 or 3.2 degrees versus the standard 3, and a higher angle on 2.5 if the winds do shift and we have to enter right traffic for 2.5. And we know that because of the right here, the circuit. Oops, right here actually. 2.5 traffic circuit. It's right traffic, runways 2.5. Yeah, sounds good. Latest METAR report 22015. We may have to use 2.5. And ooh, the only problem is that there's no instrument approach procedures for runway 25. And the visibility is 2,000 feet, or correction, 2,000 meters, which in feet that's 1.2 statute miles. Not good. Heavy rain broken at 1700, overcast at 7000, QNH 1008. We may have to divert, folks. But alright, 32 for 33, QNH 1008 for when we descend into Subic. Yeah, because let's see what the 22015 for runway 7. That's 13 knot tailwind. And if we wanted to do a circle to land, so the lowest minimums that we can get for, so we could do it. Actually, wait. Yes, we could do it. 1600 meters RVR is what we need to do this approach. Is that safe? Questionable, right? Let's plan a circle to land runway 25. I'm gonna set the minimums to 7 or 1230. Yeah. Okay, borrow 1230. That would mean we'd have to do a ref of, shoot, we're 146. So as of right now, we can't do the approach because we exceed, well, let's just run the performance numbers before I start getting all wah. Oh, sorry, landing dispatch. Import from OFP, runway 7. The runway's wet. Runway length? Oh, it's not this. It's shorter than that. 9,006. Okay, there it is. Slope, I'm not sure, but auto flaps, we're doing flaps 30 for sure. And import weather. Calculate. Why does it have a higher ref? OAT is 25. 2976 actually. Okay. .08% for the slope. It's got that in there. Runway heading is 070. Yeah, we can't do this approach, I don't think. So if we do max auto brake, it says that we can do it, but it would be in this approach would be in violation of company policy. But we'll see. We may just break it just because it's a sim, and who cares? But we'll see. Doing a circle to land with 1.2 statute miles visibility and heavy rain and around mountainous terrain is kind of sketchy, to say the least. But we'll see. Yeah, I think if it's still like this, I'm gonna make the call to circle the land. Hey, love, what's going on? So the weather in Subic is really crappy right now. Visibility is like 1 mile. So and the winds are favoring 2.5, which there's no approach for 2.5. There's only an approach for 7. So we might actually have to divert. We need 2400 RVR, or sorry, yeah, we need 2400 RVR in order to make this approach happen. And our minimums are 2110. Why is it still going? Come on. Okay, 2110. Okay, so in order to shoot that, shoot the approach, we need, for a circle to land 2.5, we need 2,400 meters. I'll show you guys what we're talking about. We're doing the Yankee. Okay, so we've made the decision that we cannot land on runway 7 because the tailwind component is 15 knots. The 777 Boeing certified tailwind component for takeoff or landing is 10 knots. So we need at least 10 knots. We need 10 knots or less. It's 15 right now for our tailwind component. Meaning we need to land on runway 25. Only problem is there's no approach for runway 25, but there is the same approach that we were planning on doing, except we circle to land. So right here, it says circle to land. Not allowed south of runway 25. Copy. Due to terrain, of course, makes sense. And we're restricted, our MDA is restricted to 2110, meaning, we need to, okay, we actually need to change our minimums here. So we add 50 to this because we do, technically we do a DDA. So 50 plus 10 is 60, so we need 2160 in there. There it is, 2160. That's our DDA, our derived decision altitude. But we're going to come down, and our landing speed, originally I thought, I'm like, oh yeah, we got like a ref of 134 or something, right? No, actually we have a ref of 145. So we're not going to get that low, unfortunately. Meaning that we're stuck with, we're not going to get these minimums, right? 770 or 1230, 770 at 1500 meters and 1230 at 1600 meters. We're not going to get that. We're stuck with the 180 right here. So we're at 2110. 2160, we've added the 50. So 2160 feet MSL. AGL is 2051 above ground level. And then our required visibility is at 2,400 meters or more, which we don't have that. We have 2,000 meters due to the heavy rain. So we can't shoot the approach. So let's, as of right now we can't, but if that changes, cool. Let's figure out a diversion airport here. So the logical choice would be Manila, right? But let's look at the airline we're flying. We're flying for a cargo carrier that rarely ever flies to Manila, but they do fly sometimes to Clark. So that means it would probably be better to divert to Clark instead of Manila. But we'd have to check the weather at both of those. So if we did it realistically in here, calm. Oops. How do we do this? Come on. Okay. Flight information ATIS requests. Right here. Sorry, we have to go to this side. So type in RPLC. Plug that into here. Send. And we'll get our ATIS for RB or for Clark. How much fuel can we hold? I wonder if we could just hold instead of just full on diverting. Do we have enough gas to hold? Let's see. We've got the release on this side. They gave us 20 minutes to hold, so let's use that. Alright, we have a message. They have arrived. Alright. New messages. We have Clark Information Alpha 0900 Zulu, surface wind 160 degrees, 12 knots, visibility 6,000 meters, clouds scattered 1,900 feet, overcast 9,000, temperature T6, dew point 25, QNH 1007. So they're using runway 20. ILS 20 would be the logical choice to land. We'd be able to land in Clark. But if we put in Subic, so let's go back to flight information. Request the ATIS again, put in Subic RPLB, right? RPLB, plug that into there and then send the request. And go back to what we're doing here. Okay, we got 20 minutes of holding fuel. We could potentially wait on this, whatever pop-up storm there is going on over Subic. We could wait it out by holding for 20 minutes. That's why we have the extra gas. We did have our alternate filed as Clark, so that's where we're going to go. That's the most logical choice anyway, regardless of whether it's on the release or not. So it says it's going to take 30 minutes to get there. Okay. So I'm okay with subtracting 2,700 on our holding fuel, and then dispatch added 30 minutes. I'm cool with adding another 20, so that gives us about 40 minutes of holding fuel, so we can get the required visibility for the approach. So I'm cool with doing that. Then if for some reason after the 40 minutes, if we can't, we just can't get the required visibility, that it's not going to go down, then we'll make that call to divert to Clark, which is RPLC. Can we put that in here? No. It would be RPLB, RPLB to RPLC. There it is. And we're still giant 8522. Right? Is that what we are? I should know that. Yeah, that's us. Okay. Activate. Execute. End of route. I don't want to use route 2. Wait a minute. We got rid of everything in there. Heading select. I don't want everything to be ruined. No, no, no. Back to route 1. Okay, here's route 1. Activate, execute. Okay, we're still good. Okay. Got scared there for a second. There's a discontinuity. Where is this discontinuity at? Let's see. Does it have everything in there? Yes, it does. So I guess we just go direct to movement. And we go back to LNAV, or VNAV, sorry. LNAV and VNAV, okay. I thought I screwed it up by putting in route 2. I didn't, but we have something in there, so that's good. So if I go to route 2, I guess we probably should have plugged this in on the ground. So route 2. So we have that in there. We're still in LNAV, okay. I don't want to activate or execute anything, but let's take a look at the approaches into Clark, and we'll just do that. So we'll just do tax it for the ILS runway 20. RPLC, boom, there it is. ILS 20, we'll do tax it, boom, there it is. And I don't want to activate or execute it because it's going to screw up my route. So let's not do that. But we can brief it. I'm going to brief it here, just so we know we have it in here. So tax it, and the DME arc, tax it at or above 5,100 and 5,100 DME arc all the way around to analyst at or above 3,500. And after that, the final approach fix 2,600. And okay, we got all that squared away. Not going to brief it, sorry, I'm just going to make sure that all the fixes line up on the approach so we don't, that's less for us to do later if we end up having to divert. CIA, so back to the DME arc and then back to analysts. Okay, so that's all in there. Back to route 1 legs, or route 1. Okay. I feel like it's easier to just go to alternate, but oh well. We'll do it this way. What about Manila? Just so we know what the weather is, right? RPLL. VATSIM source. RPLL, send. And it'll give us the weather from Manila. $160 miles to the west of, that might be Lawag. Yeah. Turn that on auto. Alright, let's brief the approach on here. I know there's a possibility we may not do it, but we're going to brief it anyway, so we're ready. Alright, we got Subic Bay, Philippines, RMP Yankee, runway 7, LNAV, VNAV only, page 12-2, effective January 22nd. Final approach course is going to be 065, LB544 is our final approach fix, cross that at 2420. And we already stated that our minimum, we're doing a circle to land runway 25, and our DDA is 2170s with a visibility of 2,400 meters required for the approach. Touchdown zone elevation is 41 feet. Actually, that's for 7. Airport elevation 59. We'll go over that in a sec. Minimum safe altitude 7,300. No significant remarks. Transition levels 13,000. We already went through the fixes because we verified everything was in the FMC, but it is a 3.2 degree path down to that 2160 DDA that we plugged in. PAPI's on both sides of runway 7, high LS system. We're planning a right downwind runway 25. Mr. Approach, if we don't see the runway, fly over LB549 and a left turn to LB546. No faster than 185 knots on our way up to 5,000 LB547, LB548, and then Richa for the hold there. Between 5,000 and 10,000, max 230, right turns, 135 inbound course, highest obstacle 4135 east of the airport. But since we're going to do a circle, there's all kinds of terrain around, all the way to the northeast, to the west of the airport, all around us, so we will be wary of that. Yep, and then we have a, I gotta mention this. There's a danger area here and a danger area here. We'll make sure we don't go into that. That's where all the terrain is as well. Don't fly into there. And then here's a restricted area down there. R77, D31, and D27. But let's go through the... We already know the runway length, 8,000 feet with the displaced threshold. What is this? Okay. Runway 25. There's a PAPI. We do have a PAPI. And it's a 3.3 degree path. So it's a little higher of an angle. Okay. And it does have a high ALS system. Touchdown zone lights are high intensity runway lighting and centerline lighting as well. And a high approach lighting system. Let a left turn off at the end, probably taxi via Charlie to the ramp area right here. Southeast apron, taxi over here. And yeah, just park right there. Yep. Alright, I think we're well briefed on that stuff. Okay, so we got our Manila weather. Actually, 5 minutes ago. Here we go. Manila Hotel 077090. I thought there was ATC online though. It says it was generated by... Oh no, they're offline now. Okay, disregard. The 260 is 4 variable. 230 to 300 visibility is great. Clouds 2500, overcast 10,000. Weather's great over there in Manila. So, something to keep in mind. Also, let's look at where we want to hold. Sorry guys, I know we're going through every possible detail on this, but I want to make sure that we're precise in where we want to do things here. On the arrival, we can hold as published at Richa. That's a perfect place to hold. At or above 5. So we can hold there right at, I don't know, 7, 8. Or even all the way at 10. We hold all the way at 10 up there. That would also be fine. We wouldn't be burning as much gas, and then if, well, maybe not, because once the visibility goes up, we don't want to mess around with the RVR there. We want to get in on the approach just in case the RVR drops below before the final approach fix, and we'd have to discontinue the approach. So maybe it's 7, probably be better. 7,000 at Richa. And we'll fly max 210, or 230, sorry, we'll do 230. Or whatever the min cleanup altitude is. 230, that'll work. That'll work. I think it even has a holding speed in here, I think. Let's see. 226, that'll work. I'm good with that. Touchdown was supposed to be 10:28. Current time now is 9:46. RPLB. Let's make let's make a ring around this. We'll call it a ring around a rosy. Like the old song from when we were babies. Alright. Plan mode. Go through every fix on the way down. How about that? Yeah, see the ring, the green ring around here I just created? Let's change this to weather. Rather see weather. How do we cancel that comm message on there? Cancel. New messages, cancel. There we go. And if we wanted to activate that hold, we would just put it in there, I guess. Let's check for an updated METAR. Should be an update coming out in about 10 minutes, so. There is a cafe in front of us. There he is. There he is. Okay, no factor. We're gonna plan on an auto brake 3. Yeah. BRB. Alright, we're back. Let's do the descent checklist. Alright, descent checklist recall. Is check. Notes. Check. Auto brake. Tree. Landing data. VREF 144 with a minimums 1260 barrel. Approach briefing is completed. Descent checklist complete. Okay, let's get our updated weather. Com. Go back here. Flight information. ATIS request. Romeo Papa Lima Bravo. That's send it out. See what we get back. -3. Okay, new messages. Lo and behold, we have the visibility now. Alright, we got Bravo, ATIS Bravo. Or we gotta reset MCP altitude. Bottom is 5,000 on the arrival. Alright, surface wind 210 degrees, 17 knots. Still got to do runway 25. Visibility 3,000 now, not 2,000. So that's what we want, right? That is 2 statute miles visibility. We'll take that. Broken 1700, overcast 7,000. Temperature 262.25, QNH 1008. Cancel that. Alright, we're at top of descent now. Look at that nasty weather. going out towards Subic. There's going to be a hell of a ride coming in. Clouds are broken at 17. And our MDA is 20, or DDA is 2160, which is 2100 feet above the ground. So that could be a problem. If we don't see the runway in time, we'll go around, we'll shoot the mist, and we'll maybe try it once, one more time. But if we can't make it after the second try, we'll divert to Clark. And let's grab Clark weather now, so we can say we did our due diligence. Flight information, ATIS request, RPLC. Okay, VATSIM, there it is. Send it off. Yeah, because I don't want to go through that, man. Alright, comm. New messages. Clark 8 is Bravo. Good winds for 20. Visibility 6,000 meters. Okay, that's good. 6,000 meters, so that's 4 miles. Okay, perfect. Scattered clouds, overcast 9. Okay, good weather. Good enough for me to divert there for the ILS-20. Alright, if we go to Richa instead, so we can get around this weather, how would that look? Better. We're going to execute that. So we're going to skip the arrival completely because the weather is nasty. The weather's going to be nasty anyway, I guess, so. Subic Bay traffic, Giant 8522 heavy, 35 miles north of the airport, descending out of flight level 190 for runway 07 circle to land runway 25 Subic. Alright, 18. I'm just gonna turn all these lights on so I don't forget later. Single pilot. Alright, we're gonna deviate around this weather. 220 heading. Change our speed on the arrival to 250. Drop the boards. Transition level. QNH1008 set. Approach checklist. QNH1008. Approach checklist complete. Okay, 10,000. Subic Bay traffic, Giant 8522 Heavy, is 20 miles to the northwest, descending via the RMP Yankee runway 07, circle to land runway 25, Subic Bay, descending out of 8,000. Richa. Activate, execute, LNAV. So I'm telling you this right now, this would be a diversion. And the reason I say that is because, look at that. Our missed approach is consisted of horrible weather. And there's terrain all around the airport. So if I turn the terrain radar on, so with the terrain all around the airport, that's one thing on a normal day, right? Adding in weather to the to factor in weather, right? Not just on the approach, but also on the missed approach. This would be a diversion in real life. 100%. But for the sake of it being a simulator, we're gonna come in like a cowboy. Gung-ho. Alright, 24, 2500. Call it 2200. We're just going to set the, oh, the minimums. Okay, 2160. Perfect. Okay, flaps 1. Flaps 5. Getting configured early would probably be a wise decision. Okay, now we're slowing. Perfect. 2420. I'm getting rid of that speed in there. Okay, it's already there. Okay. Oh well. You're down. About 15. $154. Alright, let's go flaps 20. We're not fully configured.
Approaching minimums.
Going outside. Alright, go around.
Minimums. Approaching
Whoa,
minimums.
whoa, 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 whoa. Autopilot disconnect. Okay, VNAV. Sorry, we screwed that one up because we didn't frickin' disconnect the autopilot. Flaps 15, gear up. Overspeeding the flaps. AP's on. Can't go more than 185, right? So flaps 10. Sorry, flaps 15. Now we're going to flaps 10. Or flaps 5. Alright, we're at 5,000. We're not going to try that approach again, so we're going to go to 13,000. Let's get cleaned up. Up to 11,000. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Let's actually go up to 13,000. And 2 diversions. One yesterday, one today. Route 2. EISMA for our route. And then repat 5 Romeo arrival. Let's fly heading of 220. Okay, climb checklist. Sorry, after takeoff checklist. Flaps are up. Hangers up, flaps are up. After takeoff checklist complete. Alright, 12 for 13. We're gonna stay at 240 actually, because it's frickin' gonna be bumpy. Alright, here's our alternate RMP approach here. Alright, Ria Atterbus 7, Drata, Eduel. Or is this the right arrival? Repat 5 Romeo. No. Alright, 1 November. We're doing the 1 November arrival. $170. So we can't do the repat arrival. It has to be okay. Now we're gonna speed up. Alright, has to be the Riot 1 November arrival. Okay, for the ILS 20. Tax it. There it is. Execute. Put REOT right there. Alright, we gotta go over this cell, or around this cell to the southeast because of the danger areas around the airspace and the prohibited areas. Alright, so the REOT arrival. No, not the REOT, the oh yeah, the REOT 1 November. So it's REOT, then head to the 13 DME arc, and then tax it at or above 5100. Alright, REOT, and then 108 Mike, tax at or above 51. /5100 Alpha. No, it won't even let me put it in. That's okay. Heading 090. And from there we're executing the ILS runway 20, tax it. DME 034. At above 3500. Intercept. So then it's a 234 heading until you intercept at analysts 3500, then Fox 2026. Missed approach climb 970. 204. Tracked to Clark 3 DME until 057 radial. Or follow, intercept and follow 057 radial at 10 SIA, left to intercept and follow the 13 DME arc max 210 knots, enter the hold as instructed. Which analyst is back in the hold, which is 204 right turns. There it is, 1 mile legs. Alright, I'm good with that. Alright, let's look at the ILS in here. Okay, we got Pampanga Philippines ILS 20, lead or page 11-2, effective October 31st. Localizer identifier as ICK, frequency 110.1. Okay, we got that. Final approach score 040, or correction 204 across the initial approach fix, 6.8 DME, ICK 2600 ILS DA is going to be 622. Let's actually plug that in. $622. Okay, 622 set. Okay, let's go direct to Riyadh now. LNAV. $622 is set. Touchdown zone elevation and 392. Minimum safe altitude 8,300. DME VOR required for the remarks. K. Highest obstacles is the mountain to the east 3567. We'll keep an eye on that. And to the southwest is actually the highest obstacle, sorry. 5365. So mountains off to the west and a mountain off to the east. Keep that in mind. We did go through the fixes already. 3.0 degree path down to that DA of 622. Pappies on both sides. High ILS approach lighting system. Go around straight out 204 to 3 DME. Then a left turn heading 012. Intercept 057. Radial outbound to the 10 DME arc. And follow that 5,000 or 3,500 rather. As long as we got 800 meters, we're good, which we do have it. Well, the highest, why did it do this? Come on. There we go. 9,500 feet of runway available for landing for runway 20. So we're gonna do flaps 25. So there is flaps 25. Okay, descent checklist. Recall checked. Notes checked. Auto brake. We're gonna do auto brake. Still auto brake 3. That's fine. Landing data. 151. Minimums 622. Approach briefing is completed. Descent checklist complete. Approach checklist, we got QNH 1008 set. Approach checklist complete. Yeah, we're gonna go auto brake force. Change the plan on that. Or VNAV 5100 feet. There it is. Clark traffic, Giant 8522 heavy, 2 miles to the east on the ILS runway 20 approach, Pampanga. Clark descending out of 11,000. Flaps 1. Approach mode. Localizer capturing. Flaps 5. Glide slope capturing. Mr. Approach mode is, or correction, Mr. Approach altitude set. Gear coming down. Flaps 15. Flaps 25. Four-lane checklist. Four-lane checklist complete. Fox 20 at 2600. Clark traffic, Giant 8522 heavy, 5 mile final 20. Clark. And hopefully we'll actually be able to see the runway again. If not, we're going to Manila. Alright, looking good. Alright, autopilot is disconnected. Thousand feet, airspeed 164, sync rate 850. Alright, veering right, correcting. Going low, correcting. Airspeed, correcting.
200. Minimums.
Landing.
100. 50. Sync rate. 30. 20. 10.
Extended. Deployed. Starboard disarm. Okay, right turn here on Foxtrot 5. Upset. TD Foxtrot 5 and Delta. Left turn Delta. Clark traffic Giant 8522 heavy clear of runway 20 Clark. And we're going to go to spot 12. This is Alpha, clear left and clear right. Clear left, going left. Spot 12 is the second one on the right. I don't think that's spot 12. I think spot 12 is the next one. Yeah, next one here. Shut down 2. Brakes are set. Shutdown checklist. Oops, scrap the fuel pumps. Hydraulic panel set. Fuel pumps off. Flaps up. Parking brake is set. Fuel control switch is cut off. Weather radar is off. Shutdown checklist complete. Chocks are set. Releasing the parking brake. Alright, just gonna get stairs for 1L. Across the ground power, don't need air. Okay, night number 2 of diverting. We're not where we're supposed to be, but that's alright. That was fun. Look at that roundabout there. Came in, tried the approach, went around, deviated around all that weather, and flew the approach into Clark. That was pretty awesome though, huh? Complete this flight. And let's see all the fuel. Let's see how much fuel we use. We were supposed to originally land with 14.3, and we actually landed with 9.2. So we used up about 5,000 kilos extra. 5,000 extra kilos of gas. Crazy. But that's the name of the game, right? Anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. I might do another flight from here to Subic. Maybe later on today. We'll see. As like a reposition of the airplane. But thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys in the next one.